Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zadora. So how did you do last week when you were the host and the guest?
I hit Scooter.
Oh, okay.
He's a great, you just need a little second to bounce some stuff off of.
Yeah.
And he'd come up and ask timely, intelligent questions. I know I see your eyes
Wait a
kind of
minute.
rolling
Yeah,
back. Yeah, I know.
intelligent and Scooter don't
But he
usually
was,
come in the same
it usually doesn't, but he does. He does a great job with This Week in Real Estate. He does.
There we go. How's things?
Good. I was down in Little Rock yesterday. I'm on the equalization board over in Marion County, and so I went there to go to class, kind of catch up and work on my skill set from that. I think you got to go like every 3 years now, and I don't know if it was 3 years or not, but I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go, because the stuff changes every year. I don't understand going every 3 years if things change every year.
Mm-hmm.
But they went over just some of the odds and ends of, the counties, all of your property taxes, that money all stays here. It goes, it's like 80-some% of it goes to the schools. The library gets their end, the roads get a little bit, county gets a little bit, the cities get a little bit. But all the money and everything involved in the property taxes stay here in Baxter County, in Marion County, and wherever. All of the members of the equalization board are members of the county.
Right, residents of that county.
The decisions on how the money gets spent is all done in the county. Your quorum court members, when they do their budgets for the county, they take all of those things into account. So that's really a unique thing. It doesn't seem like it should be, but it really is a unique thing in the taxing process. So you should have gotten if there was a change in your taxes, you should have gotten a bill at the end of June. You can call the assessor's office, and they will either take care of it themselves, or we have companies that do the grunt work, as it were, and they can help. They fix probably 98% of the questions. Some of it is just an explanation. Didn't know why. I had got one. My tax bill went from where it had been frozen, because I'm over 65.
Mm-hmm.
It had jumped I was like, wait a minute, what happened here? Well, they had changed in the software, and that dropped the senior freeze. So he had to get that straightened up. But it was all done on the phone, and everything was done like within a day. Money's still sitting. I'm waiting to get the money back from my mortgage company, but that'll happen. It's kind of a goofy situation the way that's all set up. But most of that type of stuff can be done. The biggest thing really is when people buy houses and the realtor doesn't explain to them that what this guy's paying is not going to be what you're paying. And, so they want to, well, how come I jump from this to that? We're taxed at 20% of the value. So the value changes when that property sells. Mm-hmm. The property value changes. Mm-hmm. So the 20% is based on a higher number. And then you can freeze it if you're old enough. You can freeze it. There was a time you could take if the person in front of you was frozen, you could be frozen at that level. Well, they stopped that because they were losing. There were tax bills that were like $300 for like big, nice houses that should have been taxed differently. And then they were doing it in different ways in different parts of this state. Because you get 75 counties, so we get 75 opinions on how things should go. So the state finally stepped in and said, that's it. Everybody's going to do it the same way. Put everybody on the same page. It's for the schools mostly. It's for the libraries, the public service things that you need, rural fire departments. I'll bring the sheet with me next week. And that's where the money goes. So we're going to get everybody on the same page.
While we're on that topic, let's talk about the homestead exemption.
Yes. That went up. It's $500 now. That was a nice bump for everybody, for homeowners. That was a nice bump. That was the only way that you can really do anything for homeowners. It's just for homeowners. It's for your primary residence, not a secondary residence, not an investment property, nothing like that. It's for where you live, you know, where you vote, we're saying your driver's license. So that went up last year, and it took effect this year. They went back to January 1st. So that's going to be a nice bump for people as far as money that they don't have to spend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely good spot. Yeah, I spent some time last week while you were here being the host. I was up watching my grandson play baseball up in New Lenox, Illinois.
Yep.
We stayed in DuPage County.
Yeah.
So I looked up where we used to live when I was growing up as a kid to see what the property taxes are now there.
Yeah.
We're on the topic of property
Yes,
tax
yes,
and
yes.
home tax. Now, granted, this is not a big home that we were raised in. The value when it sold in 2020, it sold for $212,000. So what it is today, I can't tell you, but that's the last sale.
Yeah.
But the tax on that in 2024 was $7,958.37.
Yeah.
$7,958.37.
Yeah.
5,900 of that and some change was for the school district.
Yeah.
People come here and complain about the $900 that they're paying here and whining about the amount that goes to the school tax.
No comparison. No
There's
comparison.
no comparison.
And that was why they came here. And you're getting, when you look at the difference in our schools and the product they're producing compared to this products in a lot of those other schools where the taxes are 4 or 5 times, what we're paying here, there's really no comparison. They're really getting no bang. They're getting a fizzle for their buck instead of a bang for their buck. I mean, it's terrible what they do with the money. That's why we're here. God's country, brother.
And I understand there's been an anniversary with you and Miss Linda.
Yeah, we 18 years. It Century 21. It's been good. It's been good. We're all independent contractors, and I touch on that from time to time that I don't own, Linda doesn't own. We don't have anything to do with the ownership of Century 21. That's Mickey and Jewel. All the agents in all of the companies, all are independent contractors. But we don't own it. I had a guy saying the other day that, we thought you owned it. I said, well, that's because you see me everywhere. I says, it may seem that way because I'm talking about Century 21 all the time, and we're pressing Century 21 and the agents and everything else, but it's not. We don't own it. I make nothing from that. They don't pay me to do this. This is on our dime, and but Century 21 has been very good. It was probably the best thing that happened to us. The tools that they have and the international reach, the different classes and things that we learned doing things with Century 21.
What is the benefit of dealing with a national brand like Century 21?
People find you. They know that they know that if something goes south, that they have something to fall back on. They may not know where they're going to go, but they know they can go somewhere. This Google thing may catch on, but they can find out that they can call New Jersey and make a little bit of noise, and there'll be a big noise. We'll come back to get whatever it is that the issue is, which we've never had happen. But I think psychologically, it's better for people to know that they got that, and not say that the other companies that are here, that there's anything wrong with them, that there's anything. But it's just, if you're coming from a bigger market, you're used to seeing that. You're used to seeing the national brands.
How often does it happen to where you get a referral from, let's just say, Northern Illinois, and you end up getting a call and say, hey, I've got these people that are looking to come to Arkansas. Would you be willing to help with them?
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot. And I do, and it goes both the same way. We send referrals out. That's how you start, because we can look at the back of the house for the agents and see what what education they've got, what above and beyond education, what designations they have, awards that they've won, things like that. What do they deal with more? Do they deal more with seniors, the millennials? Do they deal with? That's a good thing, and we've done a lot of business like that. We've helped a lot of people like that. We had a couple in the office, sat down, put the agent on the big screen, and we zoomed back and forth so that our people could talk to the agent and kind of just get a look and a feel and how it all goes. Very successful all the way around.
It's just part of being a big network.
Yeah. So the referral business is very good.
Let's look at your numbers.
This week in real estate, there were 48 new listings came on the market, 5 commercial properties, 9 parcels of land, 34 homes came on the market, ranging in price from $58,000 to $2 million. There were 26 properties sold, 1 commercial property, 2 parcels of land, 23 homes sold. They range in price from $450,000 to $20,000. Average sale price this week was $214,000 with 100 days on market. 3 properties expired. There were 51 residential price changes. Year to date for 2025, there's been 631 homes have sold for $162 million. The average sale price is $256,000 with 92 days on market. Last year, there had been 641 homes that sold. Average sale price is $240,000 with 92 days on market. So we're not that far off from last year. We're kind of catching back up a little bit. There's still a lot of houses out there. There's still, there's some good opportunities. The rates, they didn't expect the rates to be this high for this long. They thought that they'd be dropped. They haven't. And 7 seems to be a kind of a spooky number. Right now we're at 6.5-ish. That's a little better. If we could touch, low 6, high 5, I think we'd see a difference. But I think that what will happen with that was you'll see the prices start to climb up again because more people will be out looking. That's, what you're going to run into.
The roller coaster of life.
The best time to buy a house is yesterday, and that's just the way it is. So if you're thinking about buying, looking into things, saying, all right, we're ready. We got to get out of mom's basement. We got to get out of this rental, whatever the case may be. Give my honey a call. She's at 870. No, go get pre-approved. Then give my honey, because that's the first thing she's going to ask you. So I'll take the first step out of there. But go get pre-approved. Go to whatever bank it is that you use. Go to Chris Desari. Go to someplace where you can get money. It's not on the internet. Stay away from the internet banks and places and banks that are not here. Someplace where you can't sit across the desk and physically talk to that person.
A lot to be said for brick and mortar when it comes to loaning money.
Yes, indeed. Local banks. And get yourself pre-approved, and that way if you've got little issues, you can get them straightened out. But you want to get ahead of that, then call Linda. She's at 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retire2arkansas.net. The pictures were good this morning. I like that gold, the way it came down the river. Days are getting a little shorter, buddy. I see it
Trust
in the
me,
morning when I get up, and you see it at the end of the day, and I see it at the beginning. It's like, okay. It's hard to think that way when it's 100 degrees outside. But give my honey a call, 870-405-0793.
Thanks for joining us. This has been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. 870-405-0793 is the number. Retire2arkansas.net is their website. They'd be glad to help you. These are realtors you can recommend to your friends. They're busy, but never too busy to help you. We'll be back in just a moment.